What's up, everybody? This is Chieftain, and you're watching the Laggin Out podcast. Who would have thought an X-Wing fighter would be Xbox compatible? We just saw Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I'm here with the one and only super fan of Lagging Out of Star Wars, Unisol. And we're going to break down the film. There's going to be some spoilers, so I'm going to let you guys know there's going to be some spoilers in this. Okay, Unisol, thanks for coming back on the show, brother. How you doing? What'd you think?
Oh, dude, totally blew my mind. I can't get over. I actually loved every bit of it.
So did I. I had like a huge nerdgasm. I think this is the best film yet.
Yeah. From start to finish, it definitely isn't your standard Star Wars, George Lucas, or even Empire Strikes Back film.
Right.
It goes into its own genre. Well, I wouldn't say genre. It goes into its own zone.
Right.
Definitely.
J.J. Abrams was the executive, but yeah, I think you're right. It had its own like flavor of Star Wars, and it was a little bit of the old, a little bit of the new.
And it definitely had a fresh vibe to it. I mean,
it totally
humor.
Did.
Oh my God. And the nods back and forth.
I love that.
Easter eggs. Oh. And we both went to the fan event, by the way, guys. We didn't go to a standard showing. So this was the pre-showing to anybody else. Everybody gets to go see it tomorrow in its entirety. So
if we would have saw it together, we wouldn't be able to do the show because we wouldn't be able to keep our mouth shut during it.
Oh my God, yes. As it were, I saw it with my kids, and my kids were going crazy.
The first impression of the film for me was, wow, this is getting like this is like the episode 4 Empire Strikes Back type of episode 5 feel to it.
Absolutely.
It's like this feels like Empire, and I think they did that on purpose. I'm like, motherfucker, this seems like Empire Strikes Back, and then there's so many twists and turns in the beginning. And I was like, are they gonna win? When are they gonna start the win? I'm like getting mad in my seat.
But on top of it, it took nods from every original trilogy movie.
Right.
I mean, right from New Hope all the way down to Return of the Jedi.
Give our fans a specific for that without revealing too much. Was it the Yoda scene?
I'm not give it away.
Was it like the comparison between Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi with their apprentice relationship?
I wouldn't even go that far. I would say it was more of the original trilogy nods than the new prequels. There was a throne room scene, which I won't go into great detail.
Right.
Which was a direct nod to Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi. Yeah, the Emperor scene with
Snoke.
There was Kylo Ren in the Darth Vader position.
Right.
And Rey in the Luke Skywalker position.
Right.
So without giving great detail, and Snoke was the Emperor. It was all set up just like that.
I love that scene. Like, I don't know where the crowd just went freaking nuts in that scene. They're like, yeah! Everyone's going, yes, awesome! I was like, yes, and like the one, I'm not going to reveal.
Apparently, they're much wilder in Daytona because my crowd was completely quiet through almost the entire movie.
Oh my God, dude.
There were, at the very end, they clapped and lost their minds.
Right.
But, and again, there were Easter eggs all over the place.
Right.
They even told us at the beginning we had a let-in or a launch thing. And it basically gave a nod to John Williams, and it was all about the music.
Right.
But even the music in the movie was nods to other movies and everything that he did before. So everything is well represented from right on down.
I love the Luke Skywalker character because he's very tongue in cheek, and it proved to me that it proved the theory that I had before going into the film that in fact Luke Skywalker is a gray Jedi. Now, if you don't know what a gray Jedi is, please look it up. It gives the combination of a Sith, and a Jedi and melds them together and makes a more complete character.
I don't see the gray Jedi analogy. I still see, because
if you let me explain
the story shows.
Okay.
Oh, well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. The gray Jedi, the mere fact that he wanted to kill Kylo Ren is a Sith emotion. Killing is not part of the Jedi order. It's part of the alternative. It's an offshoot of a Sith and a regular Jedi. So he's embracing both sides of the Force. That's my Sebastian. But Unisol, you have a different perspective on this.
Yeah, I definitely do, because if you look at it, even at the end of the third movie, which is a prequel movie, Revenge of the Sith, Mace Windu and them were going to terminate the Emperor. They were going to kill. And I think when it comes to the good versus the evil, especially when you have that kind of, I would say almost fanaticism.
Right.
Mace was pretty hard on light side. Luke was concerned, and then he realized that, he made a mistake.
And he wanted to rectify it
in the story, and he tried to rectify it. But once you cross that line, once you have made that choice, so to speak, and he put into motion the dark side, unfortunately. So he created his own villain before there was an actual chance to prove that he could still make a choice. And then Ben Solo ended up becoming Kylo Ren as a response to Luke's hubris.
Go ahead.
When
you make the comparison, it's a very legitimate argument to say that Mace Windu had to rectify what the manipulation was compared in conjunction with the Emperor. But the Emperor was a really bad dude. He was really bad dude. And to compare the Emperor to Kylo Ren is like apples and oranges, in my opinion. Plus,
no, I don't consider the Emperor to Kylo Ren, but it's that same. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to remove the evil, and that wasn't the way that it should have been done, and it ended up creating Kylo Ren instead of, giving Ben the chance to actually choose for himself.
Right.
He was forced.
He was choosing it for him.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Also, you can look even more recently into this movie. You can actually look at this movie as well. There's Kylo Ren says to Rey that the time of the Jedi and the Sith are no more. So what does that?
And we're starting our new and he wants to start a whole new thing.
Right. He wants to start a new empire. Does he want to start a new Jedi Sith order? Does that mean that Kylo Ren is a gray Jedi? I know I keep on harping on this.
It's very well me.
Right.
Very may well be.
They left it open.
Oh yeah, they completely left it open.
And I think that's perfect. And again, I think this is a perfect segue, talking about the younglings and talking about the end of the film.
Oh my God!
That was amazing. And
it was. It was so cool because it was so subtle.
It was so subtle.
It was so subtle.
He grabs the broom and it goes to his hand.
Just reaches it. I'll let you take the lead on this one. Go ahead.
Oh, they're in the stable with those four-legged characters, and they're telling the story of Luke Skywalker and how he survived that barrage of blaster fire from the AT-ATs, and their boss comes in.
A la C-3PO talking to the Ewoks.
Exactly.
In the
and it's a Jedi reference, which is an Easter egg that I did not notice till you said it now. But yeah. And, oh, you're a fucking genius. That's why I'm so glad you're on the show today.
Oh yeah.
But they have these kids there, and they're kind of stable boys of sorts, stable boys are stable. Essentially, they're stable boys and girls. And their boss comes in and like Watto, and it's like blah blah blah, and the kid runs out, and he's looking.
Everybody breaks up. They all take off.
Mm-hmm. And there's a broom next to him, but it's leaning against the wall, and he's looking into the stars. It's at night, and he just goes to grab the broom, but the broom is a little bit further away, and the broom just comes snapping to his hand. And I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. I'm like, this is great.
Because they talked. They totally talked about this in The Force Awakens. The children of the Force are awakening.
Right.
So there's a whole new level
It's a new
of
beginning.
new generation of Jedi,
Right.
of undiscovered kids with Force talents.
Right. But who's going to show them? The Jedi religion, as they referred it to in the movie, they have books on how to teach, but the only Jedi master that they have was Luke, and Luke barely knew the Force because he started when he was 18, 19 years old. His master died, so he's kind of diluted by the teachings. He doesn't know everything about the Force unless he was trained by Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi and his father later when they've died and as guidance. But there's that delusion of education for the next generation to learn the ways of the Jedi or the Force.
Even Yoda was kind of telling him that during the movie,
right? When he
part that I didn't walk out on.
We're talking about all the good things in the movie. What a couple of things that really frustrated you about The Last Jedi?
I hate to say it, and he's such a great character, so to speak. But the Finn backstory seemed to slow everything down. They seemed to had to justify him. Like, technically, it seemed like he should have died in the first movie, Force Awakens. But then, but it's like that backstory, which is attached to the main story, and they kept bouncing back and forth so much.
Mm-hmm.
It was really hard to stay on track.
Okay.
And it kind of bothered me because it was like, I understand that it's, even when Empire Strikes Back and they bounce between the Luke story and the Han and Leia running away from, Darth Vader and the Empire, in the asteroid field, and they bounce back and forth until everybody united towards the end of the movie.
Okay.
But it's still, but that it just didn't feel attached.
Okay.
It felt like it could be a separate story, like a spin-off.
Okay, I understand. It kind of slowed down the film. It could have been like a 2-hour film, is what you're saying, if they didn't do all the.
Oh yeah, under its own, it could have been another 2-hour spin-off film that could have been a support story.
I have one thing that's probably going to upset a lot of our female staff that I'm going to mention right now, and it's the giant elephant in the room. And there's no other way of saying it, but I'm going to be pretty objective about it. But I'm all for women in power and that sort of thing, but it seemed like, and it appears that they were throwing female leadership in our face. In a way, like you have Leia as general. I get it. She's a badass. She's great. But her second and third in command are both female. And I'm like, okay.
I don't know. What was the third in command? What do you mean
the lady with the red hair and the large, like the nose that looked like mine, the large nose. She was a high ranking official as well. And I'm just like,
yeah, the one that announced that the admiral was stepping up when Leia was injured.
Like they killed off Agbar, right? So that was the only other admiral that they had left. So everyone moved up one.
Yeah.
Right. So they killed off, like, I'm not revealing anything that's huge. It's like, it's gonna, whatever. But that kind of, I think it was a little too much. They're forcing it in our face. I love the fact that they're going that way.
I get that.
But I think it's a little too much.
But I think it's more of a demographic kind of thing. They see that society's kind of steering that way.
I want to be clear. I love Leia as the general. I want to be perfectly clear with that. I love General Leia as the general. I love that. I think that's perfect. She's a fucking badass. She proved it in the 77 film, in A New Hope. I get it. She's earned it. But I'm kind of like, it's like one after the other after the other. I'm like, have a healthy mix, and I can live with it. But I like the fact that Poe was challenging them, and then Poe got put in his place. I like that too. So like I'm in the middle here. I'm being pretty objective. It's like, yeah, he wasn't doing what he's supposed to, and he got punished for it. I get it. But then at the end, I came around with the I can't remember her rank. It's Lieutenant Admiral. When she did the suicide mission, she redeemed herself opposed to running away. It made it look like she was running away and giving up.
But Disney's been steering in that direction a lot too. If you again follow the cartoons and everything like that, they're trying to do the women
female hero
empowerment
thing, and I get it.
Yeah,
I totally get it.
because they're trying to get people to spend money.
Right,
They're
absolutely.
trying to get a female demographic involved in what used to be mostly a male.
Right. And I love Rey. I love the
genre.
Rey character. I think the Rey character is
Oh
amazing.
yeah, don't get me wrong. I
love
I
that.
do too.
I like that too.
I mean, she's gorgeous too. On top of it,
right?
I mean, yeah,
she's strong. She's smart,
20,
and she's
20,
pretty.
almost
she's,
30 years my my junior.
Your
but, I mean,
junior,
still,
right?
Yeah,
but she's
hot.
You
she's
can
hot.
You can sell me on character development, and her character development is great. How like no one like really fully dies, but I think Captain Phasma will be back in the next one because
definitely.
She's gonna be back. She is this sequel's Boba Fett, like, but better.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with that a little bit? She's mysterious.
Yeah, I see her coming back, maybe
right.
bounty hunter-ish or something else.
Her and Finn, those fight scenes are great. Those fight scenes are great.
That was awesome. And again, she should have got more screen time.
Oh my God, I totally agree with you.
It's just like in the first movie. It's like you threw her in there to just add more backstory. But you need to have a story, not just the side crap.
I want to know where the hell she came from because she's friggin' a badass.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be a whole thing about her joining.
I hate that general though.
I mean,
that Ginger is a fucking pussy. I think like you put Captain Sama as a general, I think she would do a better job. That guy's a freaking panty waste.
Yeah.
But I think they do that on purpose.
She should come back and like shoot him right in the face.
Oh please.
That's how I feel.
I mean, I'm sure the guy.
She comes back, and she's pissed off. You freaking screwed everything up. Bang.
Bang with that. I don't know what the hell the sword is called, but yeah.
Whatever.
I think we almost covered everything, right? We had some spoilers in there, but not so much. One of my favorite scenes, just real quick before we call it a night, is the Luke Skywalker scene when he walks out. He walks out in front of the AT-ATs. Did I mention this earlier or no?
Oh, yeah, because you were talking about the power.
Okay, yeah, I was. Yeah, kind of. And I love the fact that like these 10 AT-ATs are shooting Luke Skywalker. The dust clears, and somehow I knew he was going to survive it. It's like he's going to use the Force, right? It's like, but that's a lot of firepower. There's a pause.
Yeah, it was.
There is a pause. He turns to his shoulder, and he flicks his shoulder. Little subtleties through the movie made it for me.
So he does what you did when we were doing epic rack battles before my freaking thing died out.
Right.
Where you were just flicking off. Yeah, can't touch this. Dun, dun, dun.
Right. And we want to know what you guys think. So don't forget to comment.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Like, we loved it. If you didn't see it yet and you're watching this spoiler review, I'm sorry, but we have it in our title. But let us know what you think in the comments below if we missed something. And on behalf of Unisol, this is Chieftain, signing off and lagging out.
May the Force be with you.
Oh, and may the Force be with you.